Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn for So Here's What Happened and Carolyn Talks Podcast. So this is a question for everyone, and we can begin with Issa. And as you mentioned, the show is about the friendship between Issa and Molly, and it's about you talked about breaking up and how relationships change over time. I wanted to ask each of you, how has the show changed the way you perceive friendships in your own relationships, personally and also professionally? Because the show does talk about how the relationship changes when once profession starts to get into it, and that's created a lot of strife between them. So how that has that changed you as professionals and also as people in your own daily lives?
It's so interesting because when the show first came out, it was very aligned with who I identify with, just as a person. I think I was a little bit older than the character and in a different place. But the response to her of just like, oh my gosh, she's such a bad friend. She's so narcissistic, ha ha ha, like all these things. I was like, oh, okay. Am I missing something? Am I missing a part of me that like I didn't see before in my own friendships? And so it's definitely made me more self-aware in how I how I treat my friendships, how I value my friendships, how I value the people in my life. And especially this past season has just made me super cognizant about like the relationships that do serve me, how I'm serving those relationships in the best way. And it did the same for my friends. I always joke about how my actual best friend who Molly was based off of reached out to me during season 4, like, hey, are we cool? Because I don't like all this. And they're really coming from Molly, which means they're coming from me in a way. So are we okay? And we were.
I think for me, it's kind of impacted things in two ways. One, I think initially, I think it made me, and having worked on initial like girlfriends, I don't think I was like mature enough to really understand this as like a young husband. But now as a older husband, it has made me more aware when my wife is talking about her friendships and just wanting to listen. A lot of times I'd be like, yeah, we'll just do this. We'll just do that. Like, and I was like, oh no, it's not that simple. There's a lot of complexities to it, and let me just be a better listener in some ways, as being in the inner workings of hearing the Black women in our room talk about like specific friendships and their stories. And I think last season in particular, like Issa was saying, it definitely made me, I have two friends I've been friends with since I was 4 and 7 that I'm still friends with to this day, really tight. And it just made me more appreciative that like these friendships don't come along every day, and you have to be very intentional about them. And I'm sure the pandemic put a lot of that things in perspective, but it just made me want to be a better friend with intention. And obviously we all have a lot of things going on in our lives, but it just really was like those friendships don't come along every day, like Issa and Molly and like the ones with my friends. And so it just made me be more aware of like the people that are in your life, make sure they know why they're in your life in that way.
Shiona, Kier, and Felicia?
Sure, I'll talk about it. For me, I think I have also a group of close friends that I've been friends with since high school and middle school, and along with appreciating those friendships are special and rare, maybe, that also understanding that there's kind of seasons in those relationships, and that we go in and out of being closer or having tension, and but appreciating that those pass, and that there will be good times again, and there will be tough times, and that that you can be close, you can still maintain that relationship with somebody, because those people probably understand you in a way that nobody else understands you, and have been through experiences with you that help you guys understand each other. And so I think I've kind of learned about having patience for those moments, and appreciating the longevity of having those kind of people in your life.
So for me, I have a whole different perspective when I watch Insecure. I see the realness and the truth in each episode, every season, because it's been part of my life growing up, the friends that have come and gone. The perspective that I tend to take is I have to watch it like 4 times, because the first 3 times I'm busy finding what imperfections I've done. Like I'm like, wait, that baby hair is not right, or that hair is out of place. Or so I don't get to like sit and enjoy it the first time the way everybody else does. I have to like watch it again and again and again and get past everything I wanted to do different, you know, or wanted to change. Of course you can't change once it's out. So it's always me looking at how can I be better the next season or the next time, you know. But each story, every storyline, right down to the relationships, have been a part of every aspect of my life, for sure.
I have the, I guess, benefit and blessing of working with one of my best friends on the show, Melina Matsoukas. And so we talk a lot about the friendships on screen and also kind of our friendship working together. And we disagree a lot about, is Issa right? Is Molly right? They're bad friends. Like, how could they be better friends? It should have went down like this. And so I think that one of the most important lessons I've learned, or how it's shaped my friendships, is not just kind of reflecting on how I treat people and how I treat my friends, but also how I work with my friends. Because for the past few years, I've been able to get up and go to work with not just people that I enjoy working with and admire, but people that I actually love. And you know, being on set all day is not easy. And so if I get like snappy or a temper, you know, Melina will like give it right back. And so I realized that just like not only to value my friendships, but also value my friendships at work. And I don't think that I will be able to have this environment ever again in my career. I mean, hopefully I do, but to be able to collaborate with other Black people, specifically Black women, sorry, Prentice, but I think that that is, you know, just, it's an experience that I don't take for granted. And I've walked away from this show with deeper friendships and more friends in LA and just like in this industry. And I'm super grateful for that.
Great. Thank you so much. And congratulations on the successful 5 seasons.